As part of the orchestrated plan, we allege that 16 Michigan residents met covertly in the basement of Michigan GOP headquarters and knowingly and of their own volition signed their names to multiple certificates stating that they were the duly elected and qualified electors for President and Vice President of the United States of America for the state of Michigan. That was a lie. They weren't the duly elected and qualified electors, and each of the defendants knew it. They carried out these actions with the hope and belief that the electoral votes of Michigan's 2020 election would be awarded to the candidate of their choosing instead of the candidate that Michigan voters actually chose. But we believe the evidence will demonstrate that there was no legal authority for the false electors to purport to act as duly elected presidential electors and execute the false electoral documents. Violating the law was the only avenue that remained in the desperate effort of these defendants, who we have charged with deliberately attempting to interfere with and overturn our free and fair election process, and along with it, the will of millions of Michigan voters. These defendants may have believed the now long debunked myths of vote tampering or ballot dumps. They may have felt compelled to follow the call to action from a president they held fealty to. They may have even genuinely believed that this was their patriotic duty. But none of those reasons or feelings provide legal justification to violate the law and upend our Constitution and our nation's traditions of representative government, self-determination, and a government by the people. The 2020 presidential election had concluded 41 days prior, and the election results had been officially certified. Every serious challenge had been denied, dismissed, or otherwise rejected by the time the false electors convened. The Trump campaign never appealed for a recount at any time or on any scale, despite the clear ability and legal authority to do so. There will be those who claim these charges are political in nature. But where there is overwhelming evidence of guilt in respect to multiple crimes, the most political act I could engage in as a prosecutor would be to take no action at all.
In a stunning move, the Michigan Attorney General, Dana Nessel, has announced felony charges against the 16 Michigan Republicans who claim to be the state's slate of presidential electors in the 2020 election. Each Trump elector was charged with 1 count of conspiracy to commit forgery, 2 counts of forgery, 1 count of conspiracy to commit what's known as uttering and publishing, 1 count of uttering and publishing, 1 count of conspiracy to commit election law forgery, and 2 counts of election law forgery. I guess breaking the law for your political deity might not have been such a great long-term play. In fact, further supporting the idea that these fake electors and their enablers in the Michigan Republican Party actually knew they were acting illegally was the fact that they discussed hiding overnight in the state's capital so they would already be in the capital and present themselves as an alternate slate of electors when the valid Biden electors would inevitably cast their ballots for Biden for president. The idea was ultimately rejected, which I can only guess was due to its abject illegality. When the date came for the electors to cast their ballots in Michigan, the fake Trump slate of electors signed the fraudulent paperwork outside of the Capitol and then attempted to enter the Capitol to cast their ballots for Trump. They were ultimately turned away by Michigan police, who recognized that the Biden electors were already in place. Here's a video of that exchange, because sometimes people are dumb enough to capture their own crimes on video.
What did he say? He said we can't enter.
What I said was, for the Capitol Commission, for the Governor's Office, for the Speaker of the House, for the Speaker of the Senate, the Capitol is closed unless you have an office here to conduct business today, or if you are taking part in the Electoral College process. Anybody else is not permitted to come in the Capitol.
They are here to take part in the electoral process.
Yeah, the electors are already here. They've been checked in.
They're also electors.
Capitol is closed. All 16 electors that we've been advised by the governor's staff that we're going to be here to vote in the Electoral College have been checked in. They're already here.
But these are the rest of the electors.
I understand. But the Capitol is closed. Everybody is permitted to come forward.
Captain, the electors are also, the GOP electors are also on the governor's certificate of ascertainment.
I'm not going to get into a political debate. I'm following orders.
It's not a political debate.
Okay.
It's the official sealed document. Okay. The certificate of ascertainment has also the GOP electors. They are here. They're trying to do their constitutional duty.
I understand.
And their constitutional duty requires them to be at the Senate chamber today at 2 p.m.
Okay.
They're here.
All right, they're not, I understand they're not being permitted in. If you have a problem, you can contact the governor's office, the Speaker of the House, the Senate Majority Leader, or
I saw the governor's press release this morning. It said due to COVID. Is that the reason being given?
No.
All right, that was what the press release said. Is there another reason why?
You'd have to ask the governor's office to answer that question. I don't have.
We
any
have a
knowledge.
copy of paperwork that was prepared as electors under their constitutional duty. Can I speak to the Sergeant of Arms of the Senate to deliver it to the chamber today?
He's in a meeting right now with the Electoral College. He's not available to meet.
Captain Green, is it Captain?
First Lieutenant Green.
First Lieutenant, can you deliver this?
I cannot.
Okay. Is there anyone here that's willing to allow us, I've got elected officials and electors,
Okay.
to deliver this to the Senate today at 2 p.m.
Okay. I can ask the Senate Majority Leader, the House Majority Leader, and
Senator Mike Shirkey, would
Okay.
you deliver that to him?
I-
Tell him Ian Northen.
you
has
can
shown
contact his
delivery
office
paperwork?
directly and make arrangements to drop that off to him, sir. I'm not
Well,
going to
they're
take
not.
anything.
You're not letting us in the building. His office is inside.
He's not here.
What's that?
He's not here.
So are you telling me that the Senate chamber is in session and the Senate leader's not here?
Yeah. So you'd have to contact his office and make arrangements to meet with him to turn over
All
any
right, somebody
paperwork,
from the
sir.
governor's team that's running this. Is
You'd have
she
to
willing
contact the governor's office with their team to make arrangements for them to.
All right, again,
take
the
possession of
electors
that
by
paperwork.
statute, it's statute MCL 168.47, have to be at the Senate chamber today
Okay.
at 2 p.m. They're trying.
I'm telling you that they're not going to be allowed to enter the Capitol, sir.
All right, thank you, Lieutenant.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Now, these charges represent the first raft of charges against fake electors in the country. I should note, though, that Republicans in 7 states that Biden won, including Arizona, Georgia, Nevada, New Mexico, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin, in addition to Michigan, had filed paperwork falsely claiming to be their respective states' legitimate electors. So while this is the first slate of charges against fake electors, I presume that they may very well not be the last. Prosecutors in Arizona and Georgia are already looking into pursuing criminal charges into these false slate of electors, and criminal suits have already been filed in Michigan and Wisconsin. The issue of fake electors was also referred to federal prosecutors, and ironically enough, just today it was revealed that Trump received a target letter in the DOJ's investigation into the events of January 6th, of which the fake elector scheme is a part. We may find out in short order that the fake electors from states across the country are part of conspiracy charges levied by the DOJ once an indictment is ultimately unsealed. Turns out presenting yourself as a fake elector and trying to subvert the democratic process may very well land you with a state and federal record. Gotta say, I sure do hope it was worth it. So good on the Michigan Attorney General's office for taking these threats to democracy seriously. And hopefully, this sends a message to other states where fake electors presented themselves to move forward with prosecution, as well as any Americans who are planning on pulling similar stunts in 2024 and beyond. You may not like the election results, but it may behoove you to throw your little temper tantrums from the privacy of your own home, unless that is, you want to watch the election returns from prison. Before you go, I need some help. Please subscribe to this channel and do your part to help grow the progressive media ecosystem. I don't do sponsorships or paid ads, I won't ask for money, but just subscribing to this channel goes a really long way, and it helps get the message out to more people. The subscribe button is right here on the screen. You can also subscribe to my Spanish language channel, which I made to reach those crucial Spanish-speaking voters. That link is on the screen too. And finally, if you want to listen to my audio podcast, you can follow that link as well. Thanks so much for watching.